Hey everybody, Scott here, Concert Connections. Got something real quick for you. Here's a little nugget, kind of a diamond in the rough. Hey, you Detroiters out there. A couple acts that are coming up this week. Today is March 5th. It's Thursday, March 5th. So a couple things that are coming up. These are little diamonds in the rough that you may not be aware of. And these are, I talk about a lot of big shows. You got the Rolling Stones and Billy Joel, Elton John, and all these other, shows coming up all over the country. But, it's the small shows that sometimes are ignored. And I've been finding out over the last few years that some of the best performances I've seen the last few years have been these small venues and these newer groups that perform. And I go to, I get tickets, I don't even know who they are. Listen to them on Spotify for a few minutes and go to the show, and I'm blown away. And it's happened several times over the last year or so. And so I wanted right now turn you on to a couple little nuggets that are going to happen in the Detroit area. In fact, one of them's happening tomorrow. I don't know if you can get in, but there's a local guy named Jody Raffoul. That's how I pronounce it. Raffoul. Raffoul, Rafael, and I think it's pronounced Rafael, but I'm not positive. But Jody Raffoul band is very well known in the east side of Detroit, well, all over Detroit. And he's been around for a long, long time. And Jody and his band, the Rafael band, are really good. And they play all over. That's not what I'm going to talk to you about. A couple months ago, they were playing over here in Mount Clemens. And Jody introduced me to his son, Billy. And Billy, he's a young guy. He's got this long black flowing hair, and it shines and glimmers in the light. And I asked him if he played, and he goes, "Yeah." I go, "Your dad gonna let you sit in?" He goes, "He might let me sit in the last set." Well, I didn't stick around, and a buddy of mine, Mark, did. And he told me, "You should stick around and see the kid." Well, I didn't. I didn't have time, and I regret it because this morning I realized that Billy is a professional artist, and he's been traveling all over Canada, all over Ontario, and he's built up a following. Billy Raffoul, I think it is, or Rafael, Raffoul. So I do apologize for butchering your last name, Billy and Jody, but he's going to be playing the Pike Room tomorrow night, March 6th, Pontiac, Michigan. I believe it's sold out, but if you've never heard this guy, you got to check him out. He's on Spotify. Type it in, Billy Raffoul. The guy sings like Joe Cocher or something. He's got this voice that is deep, it is rich, it is haunting, it's chilling. He does this all on his own. He plays acoustic. Everything he does is acoustic. And he gets into these slow, deep melodies. He picks it up. He does fast stuff. And anyway, there's a little diamond in the rough there. He's a local Ontario guy. He's got a big following, probably bigger than his father's now. And he's playing the Pike Room, which is on top of the Crowfoot, in Pontiac, Michigan, tomorrow, March 3rd, 2020. Check him out on Spotify, and wow, he's amazing. So if you can somehow get in there, you should check him out. Now, is anybody out there an American Idol fan? How about The Voice? Do you guys ever watch that? I'm kind of addicted to it. I have been to these shows since these shows started. But Simon Cowell, he split off a decade ago out of American Idol, and they did that XFactor thing. Well, I have a little nugget for you. On March 10th, at the Shelter in Detroit. Now, what I love about the Shelter is they got a whole new bar down there. This is in the basement of St. Andrews Hall. It holds maybe 150 to 200 people, standing room only. They have a bar. It's a small venue. The sound is pretty good. And Right across the street, I usually hit up the Sweetwater Tavern, and they got the best wings in the country. If you like chicken wings, it's unlike anything you've ever had. They marinate them in the sauce, and it's not like a barbecue sauce, or they don't put it in a rub. They literally have some kind of secret ingredient. They marinate it overnight, and they cook them the next day. And they've been voted #1 in the country, not the state, the country, several times. So I usually go over there, and the thing is, I shouldn't tell you this, but I run into a lot of the acts over there, eating before the show. You got Jacoby's right around the corner, and right next door, they opened it up about a year ago. They got the Elephant Room, which is pretty cool. And now they have a menu that they opened up, I don't know, a couple months ago. So they got a pretty good little menu there. So right next to the St. Andrews and the shelter, you can park right behind it and literally walk 10, 15, 20 feet into the shelter. But in any case, an American Idol, no, it was the X Factor. Simon Cowell, they broke the show up, I think this was 2010, 2011 time frame. They broke the show up, and they had kids, teenagers, older people, middle-aged people. They had groups. They had all kind of stuff going on. And I remember watching this season, there was a bunch of teenagers. And there were a few of them who were really good, but they got voted off. And so Simon, threw a Hail Mary out there, and he says, you know what? You should not have been voted off. And you should not have. And he brought back these 5 girls. And he put them in a group. Now, they were in the teenage solo level. And he says, you know, the 5 of you need to get together, and we're going to make a group. And what do they call it? 5H or something. Fifth Harmony. And they made it big. And they toured and and sold millions of records. And so in any case, I have a little nugget for you. The band, I don't know if they've broken up or what, but at the shelter, March 10th, small venue, Allie Brooke is going to be there. And she's one of the Fifth Harmony girls. She is absolutely fantastic. If you like that pop, now she's kind of like a J-Lo. Who else? Those Latin singers. It's very American. It's very English. I don't want to give you the wrong idea, like it's Spanish or anything, but she kind of goes towards that Latin pop, and I listen to her, and she is her solo stuff is amazing, and she's going to be at the shelter, and I think there's tickets still available, March 10th, which I think is Tuesday, I'm not sure, but you want a little diamond in the rough, she is a superstar, playing in a tiny, tiny little place. You can get upright and personal with her. You can talk to her. I guarantee she'll be probably at the merch table after the show. So if you want one of these intimate places to see somebody who's played for 20,000 people at a time, she's going to be playing for maybe 20, 100, 180 people in the shelter, March 10th, Detroit, Michigan, Allie Brooke. Go check that out. Oh, and by the way, coming up next, you boaters, you Lake St. Clair, Detroit boaters, I got that show coming up. I'm going to give you some details in the next video. Take care.